I peeked around his solid girth, trying to peer into the house, and was greeted with a terrible sight. I teetered on my high heels and grabbed onto his sleeve for support. "Whoa now," he said, steadying me. "You don't want to see that." "I'm their social worker," I said in a small voice. "What happened?" "Their dad happened," he said in that wry way I have grown to appreciate over the years. I swallowed back the bile that had collected in my throat, willing myself not to vomit. I knew this job would be difficult, even heartbreaking, but nothing had prepared me for this. I felt the police officer's gaze on me. He was massive. 6'3", 210 pounds of muscle, a 36-year-old with a baby face and a sharp tongue. "You going to be okay?" he asked. We stood there for a moment, me nodding my chin up and down like some maniacal bobblehead doll, and the officer standing there uncomfortably. "You should probably call your supervisor," he finally said as the second, third, and fourth stretchers emerged, shrouded in black body bags, 2 of which were child-sized. "Yeah," I said, still nodding. Every day I chronicle the monstrosities inflicted upon children in volumes of paperwork, in endless meetings, while testifying in court. I rarely talk to my husband about my clients anymore. He can see what kind of day I've had by the look on my face, the sag of my shoulders, how quickly I make a beeline to the bottle of Pinot Grigio I've reserved expressly for the more difficult days. On these days, Adam understands that there are no words, and will gently replace my wine glass with our 11-month-old daughter. Avery will wrap her chubby arms around my neck and press her petal-pink lips against my cheek so that I can smell the scent of apples on her breath. Whenever I come through the door, it's like Christmas, her birthday, and the 4th of July all at once. She is always so happy to see me. I could take comfort in this, and I do. But I see the same delight on the faces of the children I work with who are reunited with a mother or father. The same mothers or fathers who once slapped them so hard that teeth were loosened, or grabbed them so roughly that bones were broken. In Avery, I see the same spark that's in their eyes, the eruption of the same joyful grin. "I knew you'd come back to me," their faces say. I know the psychology behind this. Why an abused child will run into the arms of their abuser. But it makes me sad. There is one case I do not talk about anymore. One that I am not able to speak of, not to Adam, not even to Joe. It was a case that I knew would end badly. I felt it in my bones the moment I walked into the home. And I was right. Madeline Olmsted did not have an easy entrance into this world. Nor did she have a gentle exit. Madeline was born at Cedar City Hospital 6 years ago and spent the first 10 days of her life in the neonatal intensive care unit for respiratory issues. I became involved when Madeline was 1, and a home health care nurse called my supervisor at the Department of Human Services and asked if someone could check in with Madeline and her mother at their home. I was assigned the case. When pressed for details, the nurse was vague. "Madeline needs to use a nebulizer for her asthma, but her mother has a hard time remembering what I tell her. I think she might have trouble reading, but is a quick learner when someone shows her what to do. She seems great with Madeline." The nurse was quiet for a moment. "Honestly, it's the husband I'm worried about. It's like when he comes into the room, all the air is sucked out. She becomes tense and all her attention goes right to the husband. He acts like a jealous sibling or something. He has no interest in Madeline but to complain about how much time his wife is spending with her. She seemed scared of him. Can't you just go over there and check? I'd feel so much better." As a social worker, I was obligated to follow through, though based on what the nurse shared, I didn't think I'd find anything that was actionable. But at least the father would know that someone was paying attention to the way he was interacting with his wife and his daughter. 3 years later, Madeline was dead, and I knew James Olmsted had killed her, and he got away with it. Most often, Madeline comes to me in the violet-tinged mornings.